Welcome back to my channel. Hey, coin collectors and curious viewers alike. Today we're diving into a coin you might have in your pocket change or maybe tucked away in an old jar at home, the 1974 US 5-cent nickel. Now, if you have one in fine condition, you might be wondering if it holds any significant value today. Is it worth $1, $5, or even more? It stands in front of a visual timeline showing the design changes and production years of the US nickel. Let's rewind a bit and talk about the 1974 nickel. By the 1970s, the design was already well known, featuring President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, or front side, and his famous estate Monticello on the reverse. These coins were minted primarily in Philadelphia and Denver, and there was a proof version from San Francisco which collectors highly seek after. When it comes to rarity, mintage numbers matter. In 1974, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 601 million of these nickels, while the Denver Mint produced nearly 277 million. Proof versions from the San Francisco Mint were much higher in quantity, around 2.6 million. So the standard 1974 nickel from Philadelphia or Denver is rare by any stretch of the imagination. But as we all know, rarity is the only factor that determines a coin's value. The value of a 1974 nickel today really depends on its condition. In fine condition, which is defined by noticeable wear and some details still visible, the coin generally holds its face value around 5 cents. There is any significant increase for most of these coins due to their high mintage. However, higher grades like mint state or proof can see some increase in value for collectors. A 1974 nickel in mint state could go for $4,000, and if you have a perfectly preserved specimen, higher it might fetch around $5,000. Proof coins from San Francisco in flawless condition could reach even higher prices, especially if certified by a top grading service. But here's where things get interesting. Some 1974 nickels with errors or unique characteristics can indeed be worth more. Look out for any unusual details on your coin, like a doubled die, off-center strikes, or other mint errors, as these can raise its value considerably. In some cases, rare errors could bring in $6,000 or more, depending on their uniqueness and the market demand. So, in short, if you have a standard 1974 nickel in fine condition, it likely would be worth much more than its face value today. However, if you're lucky enough to find one in pristine, high-grade condition, or with a unique error, you could be holding on to a little piece of coin collecting gold. Always check with a professional if you think you've got something special. Next up, the 1989 USA 5-cent coin, also known as the Jefferson nickel. We're going to uncover whether this nickel, sitting in your collection, or maybe even in your pocket change, could be worth a surprising amount of money in today's market. If you love collecting or just want to learn about valuable coins, make sure to stick around. So what makes the 1989 nickel special? Let's get into the basics of this coin and a little background. This coin was designed by Felix Schlag and has Thomas Jefferson's profile on the obverse or front side and his home, Monticello, on the reverse side. By 1989, millions of these coins were circulating, so they were once quite common. As time has passed, coins in pristine condition, known as uncirculated or even mint state, have become rarer and can be surprisingly valuable. Now, why do people collect coins like these? Collectors search for specific characteristics that can drive up the value of a coin. In the case of the 1989 nickel, certain elements, like its grade and any unique errors, can make it highly sought after. Higher grades of this coin, particularly those in mint state, A grade of above, are valuable because they're well preserved. They show minimal signs of wear and have a bright luster, meaning they still have that shiny look. Let's talk about grading. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, flawless coin. Coins graded at higher are generally in beautiful condition, making them much more valuable. Even a grade of can be worth a lot more than a typical circulated coin. In the case of the 1989 nickel, if you have one graded at, it might fetch anywhere from $4,000, depending on the market and the buyer's interest. Higher grades, like even which are rare for this year, could go for even more, potentially over $5,000. But here's where it gets really interesting. Some 1989 nickels were struck with errors, and these are the real treasures for collectors. Error coins can include things like double dies, where the design is stamped twice, or off-center strikes, where the image is aligned correctly. These unique characteristics can add hundreds of dollars to the value. A double die 1989 nickel in good condition could sell for upwards of $5,000, depending on the specific type of error. So what's the market like for 1989 nickels in good condition? Generally, if you have a typical circulated 1989 nickel, it's probably worth only its face value, 5 cents. But if you find one in excellent condition or with an error, it could be worth much more. And in recent years, we've seen that the market for collectible coins is strong. Serious collectors and enthusiasts continue to seek out high-quality specimens, so prices are holding steady or even climbing for some grades. Now, if you're interested in finding a valuable 1989 nickel, try searching through old coin rolls or even checking coin shops that may have spotted a valuable piece yet. Also, keep an eye out for online auctions or coin shows. These events are great for finding hidden gems. One final tip: if you do happen to find a 1989 nickel in great condition or with an error, consider getting it professionally graded. A certified grade can significantly increase a coin's value because it assures buyers of its authenticity and quality. But remember, preserving the coin's condition is key, so avoid cleaning or polishing it, as this can actually reduce its value. The 1989 USA 5-cent coin can definitely be worth more than $5,000. Next up, the 1962 5-cent piece, or as we all know it, the Jefferson nickel. This coin, while not the oldest or the rarest, has managed to capture the attention of collectors in recent years. But what makes it so valuable in today's market? Released over 60 years ago, the 1962 Jefferson nickel is a relatively common coin by most standards, minted in huge quantities in Philadelphia and Denver. But what makes it unique? Well, it turns out that fine or uncirculated examples from this year are becoming more challenging to find, especially in higher conditions, due to factors we'll dive into soon. To understand why a 1962 nickel might hold any value today, we need to look at a bit of history. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, and by 1962, the design had changed much. These coins are primarily made of copper and nickel and weigh about 5 grams. There were two main minting locations: Philadelphia, which produced about 97 million coins, and Denver, which produced around 280 million. With numbers like that, you might wonder, how could a coin from this year hold any value at all? Well, as is often the case in coin collecting, it's all about condition and rarity within those conditions. Even though millions were minted, finding a 1962 nickel in fine condition or higher is becoming increasingly difficult. Coins that are uncirculated or very fine, showing minimal wear and clear details, are especially valuable to collectors. Now, what exactly is fine condition? In coin collecting, a coin's condition or grade is one of the biggest factors in determining its value. Fine condition, in simple terms, means the coin shows moderate wear but still has visible details. For a 1962 nickel, that means you can still make out Thomas Jefferson's profile and the details of Monticello on the back, though they may be slightly worn. In the world of coin collecting, a well-preserved nickel from 1962 with minimal wear, especially if it's from Philadelphia or has any unique die errors, can command a surprisingly high price in today's market. So, what's the current market value for a 1962 Jefferson nickel in fine condition? Generally, these coins in lower grades do attract much attention. They might only be worth face value. However, when you get into fine or very fine condition, prices can start rising. A 1962 nickel in fine condition could be worth between 50 cents to $1, depending on the buyer. If you find one in uncirculated or mint condition, its value could be significantly higher, potentially $4,000 or more. Keep an eye out for any errors. Coins from 1962 with minting errors, such as double dies or off-center strikes, can be worth much more. Some error nickels from this era can fetch upwards of $5,000 or even more, depending on the severity and visibility of the error. Now, a few things can influence the value of your 1962 nickel beyond just condition. First is demand. If there's an increased interest in collecting Jefferson nickels, prices go up. The second factor is scarcity. In certain conditions, if very few high-grade 1962 nickels are available, collectors are willing to pay a premium to get their hands on one. So if you have a 1962 nickel sitting in a drawer somewhere, it might be time to take a closer look. Check the condition, look for any unique features or errors, and you may be pleasantly surprised by its value. Even if it's worth a fortune, it could still add a little something extra to your coin collection. Next up, the 1975 US nickel. Believe it or not, certain versions of this 5-cent coin could hold big value today, especially if it's in exceptional condition. Let's break down what makes a 1975 nickel special and how much it's worth in today's market. First, let's talk about the coin itself. 1975 was a year without any major design changes for the Jefferson nickel, which had been in circulation since 1938. Designed by Felix Schlag, the nickel has Thomas Jefferson's portrait on the front, or obverse side, and Monticello, his Virginia estate, on the reverse side. What makes the 1975 nickel unique is its history and the condition some coins have maintained over the decades. When it comes to coin collecting, condition is everything. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state. If you have a 1975 nickel in circulation condition, it's likely worth just its face value, 5 cents. However, if it's been preserved in near perfect condition, that's where things get interesting. Coins in higher mint state grades, especially or above, can command impressive prices on the market. A mint state 1975 nickel in grade, which is a well-preserved condition with minimal signs of wear, can be worth several dollars. In where the coin is even closer to perfection, the value can range from $5,000. For collectors, these high-grade coins are highly desirable, especially if they exhibit a beautiful luster or shine. But what if you have a 1975 nickel with an error? That's where the real money can come in. Error coins, those with imperfections from the minting process, are often valuable because they're unique. Here are a few types of errors to look for on your 1975 nickels. This happens when the coin is struck twice, leaving a shadow effect on the image. A coin where the front and back are slightly out of sync. If the design is partially off the edge, you could have a very valuable coin. These kinds of errors can make your nickel worth anywhere from $6,000 or more, depending on the rarity and demand among collectors. So what's the market like for 1975 nickels? Although they are typically as valuable as silver or gold coins, high-grade and error 1975 nickels can still fetch impressive prices at auctions. The exact value will vary based on market demand and the specific features of each coin. As of today, collectors are seeing renewed interest in these unique pieces, and prices for high-quality 1975 nickels have been trending upwards. If you're looking to sell, be sure to get your coin graded by a professional grading service, which can help boost its value on the collector's market. If you're checking through your change or have a collection, here's what to keep an eye out for. Thanks for watching, coin enthusiasts. If you have a 1975 nickel, take a closer look. It might be more valuable than you think. And if you enjoyed learning about the hidden value in these everyday coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments if you want to see more videos on valuable coins in your pocket change.